Aloha, everyone. So, someone's missing. Who is it? Yeah, begins with a P. I'm Reverend Rita, and Reverend Patrick, who is my co-spiritual director and my husband, if you don't know already, is in Los Angeles. Yeah, he went there to be with Judah Freed, one of our members, who was having a very, very, in the world of form, difficult surgery for the removal of cancer. And so it seemed that it was the thing to do, so Patrick went and to be with Melissa. And it's just, if you haven't heard, Judah has come through the surgery with flying colors. He was up walking yesterday, yeah. He was up walking, I guess the day before yesterday he started walking, and everything the doctor said, it's now up to you. So he's great, he's cancer-free, and all is well. And all our prayers, I want to thank everybody for their prayers and consciousness that just really assisted in this healing. And thank you from Judah. I'm sure he'll have more to say when he comes back. And he'll be back on October 4th. They have to stay there a little bit because he can't fly right away. So he'll be back home on October 4th. So again, I'm Reverend Rita, and I have a couple of announcements because it seems like Michelle's not here today either. So anyway, a few things that are important just about this week. And one of the first things is the National Day of Peace. There's some flyers out there, and it's happening at Lidgate Park this afternoon at 2:30. And it's being sponsored by the Interfaith Roundtable, of which the Center for Spiritual Living Kauai is a part of. And it's going to be a beautiful day with music, and you can look at the flyers over there to see all it's going to be going on there. So you're welcome, and if you can bring some food to share, that would be great too. All right. So it's 2:30 Lidgate Park, and then Men and Women's Group, which usually meets today, CSL Kauai Men and Women's Group is not going to meet until next week. We decided to wait till Patrick. I wasn't ready to take on the men yet, but so anyway. One of the classes this week that we're in our third week of it, but you can come anytime. It's a really beautiful, powerful class called The Essentials for Greater Living, based on the teachings of the founder of Science of Mind and Spirit, Ernest Holmes. And it's been a powerful class. It's small in number right now, but we know you're welcome to come anytime you want and enjoy that class with us. It's Thursday nights at 6. And then the other thing happening this week is Spiritual Cinema Night. It's hard to believe it's already almost the end of September, right? So we're having it on September 23rd. So 7 to 9 p.m. It's called The Human Experience, and you can read about it in your program. It's a film that I think will stir a really great discussion. I don't know if a lot of people have seen it or not, but Patrick and I watched it, and we thought it would be a really great spiritual cinema night. And then next Saturday, it's hard to believe, it's the 24th, and our practitioner students are going to be putting on something called Science of Mind Saturday. We encourage everyone to come because you're going to have an opportunity in an hour and a half to really understand in a broad way what this teaching is about and how it came to be through the New Thought movement and all of that. So we we would like to see the place packed because it's an hour and a half, like I said, of your time to come and really know what this is, what Science of Mind and Spirit is, and to support these practitioner students who are doing this for their credit. All right. Just thought I'd put that in. Yeah, so there's a lot of other things happening. You can look in your program, Spirit, Sound, and Fusion next Monday. And then I do want to make special notice of this thing. We had Flying Solo a couple of months ago. I guess it was last winter. I don't know. I lost track of time. There is no time and space in God, right? Flying Solo is a workshop that we do where people take their stories and bring them into the light and show them to people and perform them in a one-person play. And we have another one coming up on September 30th. There's 6 participants. One of them is Judah Freed. But he's not going to be here on September 30th, but he's going to, his knowing is that he's going to Skype his performance in. So, great for technology, right? So we hope to see you at that on September 30th. That's when it is, Friday. So that's it, I think. Have I covered everything? Oh, I had to show this. Mother Teresa, Saint Teresa now, is on the cover of the Science of Mind magazine, and there's a beautiful article in here about her. This is the October issue, and it's in the bookstore. Reverend Diane can tell you about that. All right, so let's just take a deep breath. This is our time of centering and meditation, and I'm going to invite Reverend Diane up to take us into our meditation.
Good morning. If you'll all just take a moment to center yourself and become very comfortable, knowing that you are in a sacred and safe space, it's okay to just relax and let go. And allow yourself to ponder this phrase from Raymond Charles Barker. In any problem, a new train of ideas is the beginning of the cure. A new train of ideas is the beginning of the cure. beginning of the cure. As we begin to come back to this time and this space, knowing that there is only one mind, one power, one presence, and it is surrounding us. We breathe it in and we breathe it out. In and through every part of our bodies, in and through every part of our lives, is the one source of all that is. And so in this moment, I am remembering that. I am remembering that I stand, I live, I move, and I have my very being as the divine in expression, as do each one of us. And so I know that it is moving through each one of us today as we have come here for this celebration service. I know that it is moving through the musicians. It is moving through Reverend Rita. It is moving through each person here today to give and receive the blessing that is theirs to give. And so I know that it is already an accomplished fact in the mind of God. I give thanks for it and allow the mind and the law of the universe to bring it about in the right and perfect way. And so knowing that it is already done, knowing that it is already a blessing, knowing that it is already amazing, I simply let go. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you.
I'm going to ask Reverend Diane to stay up here as we light our peace candle, remembering every Sunday that peace begins within ourselves and then radiates out into the world. And today we're going to just dedicate this to Judah and Melissa, and Reverend Patrick too, as we sing a beautiful song by Karen Drucker, I Send My Love Over the Mountains.
I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love over the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my Lord over the mountains. I send my joy over the sea. I send my joy up to the heavens, and it returns to me.
I send my power.
I send my power over the mountains. I send my power over the sea. I send my power up to the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my peace over the mountains. I send my peace over the sea. I send my peace up to the heavens, and it returns to me.
And my love once more.
I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love up to the heavens, and it returns to me.
Thank you, Reverend Diane. Thank you, Carrie and Michael Fox, who I haven't introduced, but there they are. Beautiful music team. For those of you who just came in, I'm Reverend Rita. Reverend Patrick is missing in action in LA. No, he is doing his work in LA. What? I shouldn't say things like that, right? So I want to welcome you here on his behalf and my behalf to Center for Spiritual Living Kauai. And if you're here for the first time or if you don't know what the science of mind and spirit is, that's what we practice here. And we've had a perfect demonstration of it this week with the healing of Judah, which is that God is in everything, through everything, as everything. And when we recognize that and we live our lives from that place, anything is possible. There's nothing that's impossible. So what we do is just do our best at all times to live our life from that highest place and to take it out, not just words, but take it out into our life no matter what a challenge is, and remember it. So, and when we can't remember it, somebody can remember it for us. And I really believe that it was all of us that came together and assisted in this healing, and that in the end, though, it was Judah. And I bless him and just give great gratitude for him and his beautiful wife. So, also, I know there's people here for the first time. Let's see if I can do this as good as Patrick. I'm not as funny as him, but anyway, who's here for the first time? Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we know something about you. I kind of just said it, but we're going to say it again. So why don't we tell them what we know about them? Yeah. You are magnificent. You are magnificent. We can't say it enough because it's what we want to remember all the time, that we're magnificent. We are magnificent because we are the presence and power and light and energy of all, the source that made all. So we can't know it about somebody else if we can't know it about ourselves. So let's do that. Let's know that we are magnificent to ourselves. I am magnificent. Now say it like you really mean it. Put your hand on your heart. I am magnificent. Yeah, it's the feeling that makes things happen. I am magnificent. And now you can just turn to somebody next to you and around and just tell them the same thing. Thank you, and so are you. And you. And all of you over here are magnificent. Woo! Okay. Before we start having coffee, let's come back up here. All right. Now, I would love us to just turn to the camera. Whoever's watching, Reverend Patrick, Sherry and Tom Teal. We have so many people watching. Judah, whoever's watching, let's just let them know what they are. You are magnificent. Yeah. This has really proved to us this whole week that we are really a global community. People came forward in LA to help and assist and pray. It's just, we're a global community, and never forget that. You always have somewhere, no matter where you go, someone to remember the truth for you. So with that said, and if I something, you're allowed to say, Rita, you forgot that, okay? I think Michael and Carrie and Luis are going to take us to our opening song.
We should.
Yeah, let's stand up, everyone.
If you feel the call, stand on up. You guys know it's
Right now I'm here to live. Right now I'm here to live. Right now I'm here to give.
right now.
I'm here to
There we
give.
go.
Right now I'm here to love. Right now I'm here to love. The earth below and the sky above.
Low in the sky above.
Marvelous, miraculous, faith I'm rooting down, rising up to meet the sun.
Rising up to reach the sun.
Everything has its season and it's time to shine. I'm gonna keep growing free.
Yeah.
Right now I'm here to live. Right now I'm here to live. Right now I'm here to give. Right now I'm here to give. Right now I'm here to love.
Now I'm here alone.
The earth below and the sky above.
Low in the sky above. Here we go.
Marvelous, keep growing free.
Okay. Yes, I am here to live, to love, all of it. I'm here for it. I'm here to live, to love, all of it, to give. And I know that each and every person here has that same capacity within them. And I know as we rise to those heights of giving and loving and all of that is good, I know that this world is transformed. And that's what's happening today in this service. We're transforming the world with every bit of ourselves rising in consciousness together. And I give great gratitude for that and for this time we have together. And I know it unfolds perfectly. And I just bless it. I let it go as we say together. And so it is. I need to hear you guys sing louder.
Right now I'm here to live. Right now I'm here to live. Right now I'm here to give. Right now I'm here to give. Right now I'm here to love. Right now I'm here to love. The earth below and the sky above. The earth below and the sky above. Marvelous, miraculous, green love rooted down, rising up to meet the sun, rising up to reach the sun. And every being has its season and it's time to shine. We're gonna keep growing free. Growing free. Gonna keep growing free. Growing free. One more time. Gonna keep growing free.
Yay. Oh, is everybody really hot? All right, I don't know what to do about that because the air conditioner's on. So maybe we could pass out some fans. And I thought maybe I'm just hot because I'm moving around, but I'm going to get that checked out this week. What? Yeah. So, okay, so I'm here for you. And for those of you that don't know this center, Patrick and I guide this center together as a couple, which is a really beautiful thing. And one of the beautiful things about it is that when one of us has to do something, the other person can do something else. So that it was so important that Patrick be there, and I'll be talking about that in a little bit. But it was nice to know that here I am, I can be here and he can be there, and we are all supported. You guys support here. We're CSL Kauai is a ohana, is a piece of beautiful energy that works together in all ways. And the same thing in Los Angeles, like I said, there's people there supporting Patrick right now, and that's a beautiful thing. So I'm grateful for that. Yeah. So I titled today's talk, or message, I don't like to call it a talk, it's a message, I know that I know. It's the saying we use in the science of mind and spirit, and it's a place that you want to get yourself to whenever possible. And I know we've all experienced that feeling of, at some one time or another, maybe not all the time, when we know that we know. It might be in any situation, when it could be a little thing and you just know you're making a decision and you know that you know, or it could be something huge, you know, some huge transition in your life and you know that you know. It doesn't always make sense. Doesn't always make sense, right? You do things and it doesn't always make sense sometimes to everybody else, but you know that you know. Melissa, when she was writing, you know, she writes this blog, big blog, and she puts out all the information in the world of form that's happening with Judah. And when I talked to her right before this happened, she's like, I'm out of my league, I'm out of my league. She was literally feeling that. This is really huge, I'm out of my league. I've never experienced anything like this. And she quoted this thing, and I had to take it because it was so perfect, from Shakespeare in Love. And anybody that's ever done theater or anything, the creative process, will understand what I'm saying, and if not, you'll understand it anyway. It says, Mr. Fenneman, allow me to explain about the theater business. The natural condition is one of insurmountable obstacles on the road to imminent disaster. So what do? Nothing. Strangely enough, it all turns out well. How? I don't know. It's a mystery. That's the end of it. But that took Melissa into her experience. But it is true. It is. There's a part of this whole thing about life that is a mystery. And it's when we get like into the why and how and all that stuff that we start to get confused and we start to not really trust it. I know I've directed a lot of theater, especially with teenagers, and you can imagine what that's like. And I had a vision of how it was going to turn out. And then it looks like a big mess. And you just wonder, how is it ever going to happen? But you just keep going and you keep trusting it. And then at the end, it all turns out well. So I was thinking this in regards to, did anybody see the movie Sully? All right, if you haven't seen it, go running to the theater to see this movie. Because I saw this movie along with this whole thing that was happening this week with Judah, and it was like, oh my God, it was like hand in hand. Because this man, you know, who landed that plane, if you don't know what the story's about, and I'm not going to give it away because it's a fact, on the Hudson River, he knew that he knew in that moment exactly what to do. And weighing in a moment, in a split-second decision like that, you can't take everything into account anymore. He had to go on his natural instinct. And I mean, I've experienced it like when I moved to LA, I just knew I was supposed to move there. I didn't know, everybody's like looking at me like I'm crazy, but I knew that I knew, and I didn't listen to anyone else. I just did it, and it turned out beautifully. I ended up being a minister when I got there. I went for a different reason and came out a minister. But hey, you know, I needed to be in LA to do that. I couldn't have done it where I was. You know, the move here, right? Everybody was, what I've heard about it from after fact is that people thought we were crazy to come here and start a church. They actually thought that we could never have a church here because everybody was so spiritual. Well, where else are you supposed to have a church? I mean, I know, right? Okay, so anyway, yeah, so you know that you know. It's called deductive reasoning. That's the scientific term in science of mind. Everybody wants to know what deductive reasoning is, and they have to answer the question on a test. And basically, it is that you are coming from the whole that you know, and then you're moving down into the experience from that place. So it's called deductive reasoning. Don't forget that. Birds do it. Remember those birds that fly 70 miles without taking a break to get from here to Alaska or wherever they go to do their thing? Do you think they're thinking about it? I don't think, though. They just know that they know. Right? Those penguins that hold the eggs on their feet in the Arctic or wherever they are, and they just stand there holding it, not eating, not anything, because they know that's what they're supposed to do. So nature does it naturally, but we don't do it so naturally, usually, because we've got free will, first of all, and choice. And it's both a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing to be able to choose your life, right, and what you want to do and with it and everything. And it's also a curse in a way because you get to negate the things that possibly are for your highest good because you have choice. You get to think from any way you want to think. You get to decide that there's good and that there's evil. You get to do all those things because you have free choice. So there's only one way to think deductively that I know of, and it's in the quiet of your own mind. It's those times that you sit and you stop talking and you start listening. And we each have that within us, that ability to sit there and listen. It's called when the personal, which is us, meets the universal, which is God, which is us. But we get to experience that to the degree that we want or choose to experience it. But it's all there all the time. If you think of the things you've went through in your life, did you ever get out the other side and went, oh, how did I do that? Have you ever done that? What do you think did it? That power working through you. That's what did it. The more you surrender to it, the more it comes to your aid. It's only when we start to think that we're doing it ourselves that things get difficult. And nothing can prepare you for for some of the things that happen. They say nothing can prepare you. Sully said that in the movie. Nothing can prepare you for something like that, for that moment when he had to make that split decision. But I say, yeah, something did prepare him. It was his 42 years of being a pilot and knowing exactly what a plane was. I mean, he was probably one with the body of that plane. That's the same thing for us. We can be prepared for whatever's set in front of us if we're prayed up. Judah was prayed up. That man, I never saw somebody work so hard on making his connection and trying to figure it all out. I mean, he was just relentless with it. And he's still doing it because he's now still in the process of healing. So he's still doing that. And I'm sure he's going to have wonderful stories to tell us, and I don't want to dwell too much on him. But there's one thinker who thinks through all of us, and that's the power and presence of God. Call it what you want to call it, source, energy. We're downloading continuously from that power. It's thinking us. It's not outside of us. It surrounds us. It's in us. We are it. That's why in this teaching, we don't think of an outside God. We don't pray. We didn't beg for Judah's healing. We just knew that he was healed. We did this exercise in class the other night. I actually brought it with me. I asked them what the attributes of God were. And they started screaming out things to me. Now, attributes, right? And they called out all these things: tranquil, life, love, unlimited potential, compassion, creative. I mean, you can look at them all if you can see them. All these beautiful things that this power is. Then I asked them, do you believe that you're that? And they couldn't really answer me at first. And they actually, I don't want to give away, but that's where it all lies. Do you believe that you have these attributes? When we start to believe, to really know that we are this power, this light, this energy, this source, and these attributes are our attributes. We don't have to go get them anywhere. They're right where we are. We just have to awaken them within ourselves. We just have to wake up, as Buddha said. We just have to be awake to who we really are. And that's what my mission is. That's what my journey is. So I think that's why we have challenges. I think I said this last week. We have challenges because we're not awake to who we truly are, and they're there to wake us up. Whatever the challenge is, they're there to wake us up. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there. Every challenge we have is an experience on our journey toward reality, wrote Ernest Holmes, and it's one of my, I said it last week, it's one of my favorite quotes. I have a lot of favorite quotes from him. So where does prayer come into this? Prayer helps, but where is prayer? We don't beg. We don't beg to an outside God, like I said, for something to happen. We pray the solution. We pray the solution. We already know it is, and it's like we're peeling back an onion or sculpting that sculpture that is under there that Michelangelo said that David was always there. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. We are awakening each and every person. We're uncovering God in every person. And once God's uncovered, nothing's impossible anymore. Everything's possible. Haven't you seen it work in your life? When you do things, like I said, that you seem impossible, but you do them anyway or get through something, it's because God is awakened within you. We turn. We don't look at the conditions. If we looked at the conditions in our life and tried to fix them, we couldn't do it. No, we know they're there, but we turn away from them to the absolute first cause that is everything, that is perfect, whole, and complete. And we live from that place, and we keep staying there, and every time we get pulled to the conditions, then we pull ourselves back to first cause, because this is why in this world there is all this stuff going on, is because people are living, Thomas Troward called it sense consciousness rather than God consciousness. We're so much in our senses that we're living sense consciousness. We think that everything out there is real, and it is because we're living on this plane of action, but it's not real in that there's something behind it, and that's what we're turning to. So I don't know. I love this teaching because it's helped me so much for my life. And my only thing in life is that I want to assist you. And as I'm assisting you, I'm growing up. Patrick said, Rita, we're just growing up. He said that to me on the phone the other day. Somebody said that to him when we came to Kauai. She said, you went there to grow up. And I really feel that, because there's nothing that makes you grow up more than trying to live this wonderful teaching and really actually bring it in your life. And every time something comes towards you that looks like it's insurmountable, or that you can't even believe somebody said that, or anything, you have to go back and keep knowing and go back and keep knowing. But we each have that potential to be able to do this. So, God, I have so much to say. Okay. It's kind of weird not having Patrick here. We'll probably get out early anyway. So, yeah, right. The question is, why do people's prayers get answered and some don't? That's another thing people ask. Like, why are some people don't? Their prayers aren't answered. They don't get what they want. Why is that? Why do you think? Belief? Well, that's part of it. The other part, actually, they don't expect it and they don't accept it. If I'm praying for somebody, with somebody, and I believe it, if I was praying with somebody and they didn't believe it, nobody would be cured if that was the case. They don't have to believe it, but they do have to accept it. We take from the universe. Ernest Holmes told this story about a man in LA who was running around, and he was trying to get his job in the studios done. He was going nuts, and he was like trying to do it all himself, and he was trying to work. He was working really hard, and he couldn't understand why things weren't working out, and he had to push harder and push harder and push harder. And he said, "What am I going to do?" And Ernest Holmes said, "Just take it. Take the success. Accept the success. Relax into it." How many times in our life do we feel like we're just doing it, right? When all we have to do is take it. It doesn't mean we sit on a couch and eat potato chips and say, "Oh, God is all there is. Let's just, It's not that. But we can do everything we want in a case, but if we don't accept the good, then it's never going to come. If we don't accept the good. So what do you expect out of life? When you wake up in the morning, what do you expect? Ask yourself this question. What do you expect when you wake up? Same old, or do you accept something different? Do you accept something amazing? What do you expect? Do you expect to just go to your job and do your thing or whatever? What do you expect? Because what you expect and what you accept is what you receive. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. It's all up to us. When that doctor said to Judah, "It's up to you now," it was up to him. It's so hot in here, right? Oh, I'm sorry. Ooh, I'm just steaming up here. It's okay. So on the morning after Judah's surgery, I woke up and I was hysterically crying. I don't even know what I was feeling. I had to sit there. I wanted to call somebody, and nobody was answering the phone. I just felt like this overwhelming, emotion. And I was like, oh my God, a miracle just happened, or that's what I was feeling, that a miracle just happened, and I couldn't even contain it in my heart that this miracle had happened. And then something came over me and said, "No, it's not a miracle, it's a normacle." That's the way it's supposed to happen. That's the way it's supposed to be. We're supposed to remember who we are and live a beautiful, amazing life. That's all Ernest Holmes ever wanted for us. That's why he started this whole thing and put it all together. He just wanted people to be happy. He wanted people to be happy and healthy and rich and all the good things that this earth plane brings us. I think, that's why we're here, to try to figure out how to put it together. We live life, Ernest says, on 3 planes. It's a drama played out on 3 planes: the spiritual, the mental, and the physical. We got it all here. When we transcend this place, I don't know what it's going to be like, but I know here we get to put it all together, and that's really exciting, to be able to live spirit, mind, and body together. And I was like, why do you want to live, Rita? Oh, I want to experience that. Remember Anita Marjani, when she said, the lady that wrote Dying to Be Me, when she said when she went to the other side, she was like in a coma, and she realized the omnipresence, it all came together for her, and she realized everything was one. And then the message she got is, you can have that in this life. You can have spirit, soul, and body all together in one place and live it. It takes my breath away. And I think I'm so grateful. Can you see how blessings come out of everything? Blessings came out of this for everybody. Blessings out of this like horrendous thing that this man was going through came out for everybody that wants to accept it. It's beautiful. So they told Sully in the movie, his first teacher told him, never stop flying the plane. Think about that. Never stop flying the plane. That's a whole different way to look at it. Don't stop the plane from crashing. Don't do this. Don't do this. Never stop flying the plane. So I just want to say, never stop living God. Never stop. Just everywhere you go, just know you're living God. Don't try to fix things. Just live God. And then watch what happens. Namaste. Yay. So now I get to turn the time over to Michael and Carrie to sing their song. As we were putting this together, we were like, where's everything going to go? And this is a good place for it to go.
All right. Well, aloha, everyone. We are excited to share an original song today. It's a song that was inspired by our time in Ireland and Scotland back in 2012. So it's definitely a Celtic-themed song, and it's really just an inspirational song of true love and everything that can go with it. So enjoy.
Sitting in the land of the roses red, waiting for a man she knows he bled, looking down the river of stories untold, waiting for the man she longs to hold. Watchman came from far away, delivering a letter. Now he's gone astray. The battle in his heart lasted too many days. When will he ever meet her gaze? Lost in the woods of a time gone by, surrendering in anger to the mighty sky, screaming for justice in the human mind, fist to the ground, no longer blind.
his way to come back home.
On his way to come back
On
home.
his way to come back
On his
home.
way to come
Back home.
On his way to come back
On his way to come back home. Will he find her waiting there? Longing to stroke her glistening hair. His eyes are ready to see again the rock, the river, and his one true friend.
They are so amazing. I love that line. What was it? He's coming home? On his way home. Yeah, Patrick's on his way home. On his way to come back home. He can be taken in two ways. I'm thinking that about Patrick. He's coming home tomorrow. But also we're on our way to coming home, right? All the time. We're actually already home. We're just finding out that we are. So thank you for that beautiful message. So this is our time of sacred giving. And what does that mean? It just means that when we give, it's sacred, and we consider it sacred here at CSL Kauai. So thank you for everything that you give to this beautiful spiritual center that is just going out into the world, obviously, and doing good, and we're all doing good, and we appreciate that blessing of the finances that help and assist with that. So mahalo, 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 as we read the giving affirmation in the program, if I can find it. It's here. There it is. You see it? I abide in prosperity. I am receptive to its abundance. I am receptive to its circulation in my life in the form of money. Money, being God in action, is absolute good. It is wholesome. It is blessing me, and I am prospered with it. I circulate it freely. I give as I receive. Thank you. Take it away.
Grateful for life, grateful for love, grateful to all within and above. Here in our hearts, we can be eternally free. Grateful for life, grateful for love, grateful to all within and above. Here in our hearts, we can be eternally free. Giving from a place of purity, honoring our spirit and integrity. Here in this place, creating a world that works for everyone. Giving from a place of purity, honoring our spirit and integrity. Here in this place, creating a world that works for everyone.
In this moment, I give thanks for the great blessings flowing in and through each one of us in the form of our gifts that bless and support this center. I give thanks, knowing that the giving and receiving is the blessing. And so it is done in the mind of God as this center prospers and grows. I am so blessed and grateful to know this. And together we say, and so it is.
Grateful for life, grateful for love,
for love, grateful to all within and above. Here in our hearts we can be eternally free.
Beautiful. Yay. I'm just like, want to share this with you. I had a moment this week. I have moments too, you know, guys. I had a moment this week about a financial issue, and I came up with this thing. It was about resource, like something from the outside being my resource. And then I realized that I was my source. I was my resource. I could source myself in any moment by just getting in touch with that thing we're talking about today, that power, that light, that energy. So thank you for your donations today, and just remember, you are your resource. Anytime you're feeling anything, you are your resource. So if anything's come up with you for you today, and as far as you need prayer for it or treatment, there is a yes box over there, and we are just going to pray on those things and know the truth for you. So if you feel like you would like to put something in there, it's held in confidence. Please put your name. I always say that because I like to say people's names when I'm praying, because your name is very powerful. All right. So with that said, we can just go into our closing song. Yay. Wow.
All right.
Hey.
All right.
We did it in an hour. Wow.
So get ready for our closing song. Thank you, Sue, for coming up here. And
Yeah.
any kids out there that want to help us and play some maracas or shakers, come on.
Yeah.
up.
Come on up.
All right, here we go. This little light of mine, ooh, I'm gonna let it shine. Hey, hey, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, oh, let it shine, shine. Everybody, shine, shine. You know you want to. Shine, shine, all around the world. Shine, shine, everywhere I go. I'm gonna let it shine. Hey, hey, everywhere I go. Oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine. Oh, let it shine, shine, everybody, shine, shine, you know you want to, shine, shine, all around the world, shine, shine, when there's light in the soul, there's beauty in the person, when there's beauty in the person, harmony in the home, when there's harmony in the home, there is honor in the nation, when there's honor in the nation, there is peace in our world.
All right, so we're shining, right? We're shining, right? Say, I'm shining. I'm shining. I am living God in this very moment. I am shining my light. I know that for each and every one of us, and I know we go from here and we shine that light. We don't care what we're up against. We shine that light into it, and we move through it, not around it, not back up to it. We move through it. I know that for each and every one of us. We are living God in this moment and every moment, and I'm so grateful for that love and light that we are. I'm grateful for this time that we've had together, and I'm grateful for all the people that served today. And I know that the greeters at the door, who were they? Because I never saw them. Oh, if Everett and Saratina, thank you. That is beautiful. And who? Jill. Oh my God, Jill too. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Saratina. Thank you, Everett. Thank you for the ushers, Donna and Katie. Thank you to Rob back there live streaming so that everybody gets to enjoy us across the world. Thank you for Ron Stover, who just loves to do hospitality and bring me soup on Tuesday nights, or whenever that is. He is a wonderful presence in the center. Thank you to Reverend Diane for the meditation and the invocation, and for working in the bookstore. Thank you so much, and doing the prayer with me up here. And Sue Buckley, where are you? She diligently does our recycling, and she's over there playing ukulele right now. Thank you for helping her to recycle. And thank you for the music. Oh my God, all the wonderful people up there. Michael and Carrie and Sue and Louise and the beautiful children. Thank you so much for the beautiful uplifting music today. And if I've forgotten anyone else, you just come and see me later and I'll thank you personally. All right, so, all right, let's go. So it is.
No more living in fear, no, no, we're gonna let it shine. Hey, hey, no more living in fear, we're gonna let it shine. No more living in fear, we're gonna let it shine. Let it shine, oh let it shine, shine, everybody. Shine, shine, you know you want to. Shine, shine, all around the world. Shine, shine.
Big finish.
Namaste, and thank you, everyone. And there's some treats over there, so enjoy the grapes and whatever else is there. And the coffee. Yay, thank you. It was.